What is up, everybody? I am Oh boy, I'm usually doing these live streams on a Sunday, and I'm doing it Monday morning. Threw me off a little bit. Fumbling some stuff around. Either way, bless up to you. My name is Paul Newell. I'm a men's health and well-being guide, author, facilitator, author of Heal.Thy.Man Method, and this live stream is for men that are leveling up, healing, wounded, up leveling. Always got some tips here based on some things I'm going through as I continue to up level and heal myself. And listen, the stuff I'm going to share today is more than hey, I've mastered this and this is what you need to do. This is a journey. So as I'm going on my journey, I'm taking you with me. So here's what we're going to be focusing in on today. Uh, for a moment before I get into this, I want you to think for a second. What would your life look like if your focus was as thorough as your hustle, or as thorough as you protect your peace? Now, if you're saying to yourself, like, hold up, man, my hustle is far from discipline and I have yet to protect my peace, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That means the focus may be trash. Here's what I'm going to get into. When I was inspired by this clip, I keep forgetting this guy's name, but Amiran Golden, I think it is. It's a black gentleman, salt and pepper beard. He does a lot of motivation. I mean, he's amazing. He's an amazing speaker, but also his concepts and his business is flourishing. First heard about this dude on Dave Shan's podcast probably like 3 years ago. Maybe was it that? I don't know. Regardless, but I'm listening to a video that he's got, and he was talking about how the most important asset we have isn't our time, it's our focus. And I paused the video and I was like, whoa, man, this is deep right here, bro. Because I'm looking at like, whoa, like I felt the weight of distracted attention. Beyond weight, I felt that I've experienced the impact of unfocused attention and direction. So when I've gotten clarity, that's come from gaining focus. So why the heck does this even matter? Well, I'm glad you're asking that. It matters because where attention goes, energy flows. I remember when I was taking yoga, Claire Diab, American Yoga Academy, bless up to you. I remember that was a saying she had, and that captivated me ever since then, because where our attention goes, energy flows. Our focus. So if we're focused on relationships, if we're focused on health, if we're focused on our purpose, if we're focused on chaos and tomfoolery and just dumb booty hatness, that's exactly where our energy is going to go. So what we're going to work with today is I'm going to go through some things. I was writing down some notes, and I want to present this to you. So first things first is when we look at this part of focus, right? I think the big thing to understand here is that focus is a real flex, not necessarily the hustle. So we've been taught to grind, move, go fast, chase. But how often do we train ourselves to focus? Think about this. How often do we really train ourselves to focus? Attention is a gatekeeper of our energy, time, and attention, and intention. Now, this is why, because the guy I follow, Coach Greg Adams, he talked about, he's like, hey, guys, you got to protect your meat. And I was like, what? And it's wild because, like, at first I thought he was talking about our genitals, but then when he broke it down, he said, man, you got to protect your money, energy, attention, and time. And I really thought that was brilliant, because I still think it's brilliant, because this, as men, we must be aware and focused on those things and preserving and protecting them. So when we're focused on those things, that's where our energy can go. If we're focused on something else, it's going to go outside of that. So wherever, like I mentioned, wherever your attention is going, that's where life is going to follow. So for example, if I'm mindlessly scrolling, it's a distraction loop. If I'm constantly multitasking, it's creating shallow connections or unfinished visions, and just or a lot of unfinished tasks. My man Mike DeSanti would say, man, you're digging a lot of shallow holes, man. I'm like, I thought that was brilliant. Bringing in all the cats today with all the references. If you have emotional reactions, your attention got hijacked. Okay. And here's the kicker. People, if they know you well enough, they'll use those emotions and or they'll perform actions, say certain things to get you to emotionally react, to hijack your attention. Be aware of that stuff. That's a tactic that happens listen, I'll get into that another time. Now, one thing to address this, that where I come back to when it comes to regaining my focus, is coming back to a Hermetic principle that I really I've done before, but the Hermetic principle really defined it in a way that resonated for me. And when I started reading this book, The Initiation of Hermetics by Franz Bardon, he talked about the concept of thought control and thought discipline. In this case, I'm looking at it as thought control, mental discipline. So basically all this is if you look at thought discipline, think about this, right? Sit for 5 minutes and observe your thoughts without judgment. Some people, I remember one of my old coaches, Martin, he had me start doing contemplative prayer. It was brilliant for me because rather than get led by my different thoughts, I was watching them, observing them, letting them come and go rather than like lock in. And this is where the thought control comes in. It's like basically I think this is more of the discipline. I'm like switching it up in my head right now. I'm like, because the discipline in this is being able to observe without judgment. All right. So I have a thought about this. Okay, I'm going to let that thought go. Most people have difficulty letting things go, especially thoughts, and then it leads to other things. So the thought control now is after you've gotten used to doing this for 5 minutes, and my recommendation, especially as they taught in the book, is for at least a week, you're going to practice this. And in the Initiation of Hermetics, they talked about if you get aligned to a thought, restart your 5 minutes. That's how they want to get you disciplined. Now, the thought control is silencing the chaos and focusing in on one thing. That's controlling your thoughts. So like, hey, all this stuff's trying to come in, ding, 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 ding. Nope. So it's commanding your attention and inner guide rather than like, okay, squirrel, follow this thought. No, it's more to our detriment to be distracted like that than focused. Warm lemon water in the morning. Anyway, why is this revolutionary for guys? It's important for us guys because most of us have yet to be taught how to observe our minds. We're trained to act, react, and perform. So when we look at thought control and even the mental discipline, this is emotional mastery. This is getting clear on your purpose. This is creating and aligning. So if you can't command your attention, someone else will. Beware of this. Right? I want to say this again. If you fail to command your attention, someone else will. I just did a podcast, Brian and I, for the More Than Black or White Health podcast. We just recorded a podcast last week about digital distractions. And we were talking about this, that a lot of companies, advertisers, marketers will use tactics to capture your attention and drive you to certain things. Now, if a person fails to have that attention, then someone else is going to go get it. And now they're going to be led somewhere else and off their purpose. That usually leads to a lot of dis-ease. That's no bueno. So let's talk about how we strengthen this and then we'll start to wrap up. So here's some tools. There's 5 tools you can rock with that are going to help you to strengthen your focus in life. Numero uno, practice daily mental observation. That's the thought watching. That's the mental discipline we were just talking about. This is a key piece right here because when you can do this and you practice this, what you'll notice is, or I'm going to speak for myself. What I've noticed is as I've come back to my practice since that Amiran video, I noticed that I'm taking actions to keep my focus. For example, I took social media off of my phone. So like a lot of things that people are seeing, it's either automated through More Than Black or White or like when I get home or in the morning or in the evening, I'm posting something on my laptop. So it's just to help me stay focused, really be in line with work. Work is shifting now. So it's like, I want to be more attentive. We got new clients, and like being aware of what's going on. So much better focus and thought observation. Practice that daily. Numero dos. Thank you, Duolingo. Digital fasting. Digital fasting and attention inventory. Digital fasting is basically what I was just telling you. I took Facebook and Instagram off of my phone. Shoot. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it when I'm home on my laptop. Okay. Now, I also have done things like a digital fast where I gave over my phone and laptop and TV controls to someone else and just was without that for a certain amount of days. Now, this isn't easy for some, because some people have a difficult time being without their phone for a day or an hour. So my thought is, like, start small. Put your phone in your car when you go to work. Leave it there for the morning. Just notice. And this is where you can take inventory of where your attention is going. Because if you notice, like, you're reaching for the phone, like I noticed I was doing that the first day. I was like, oh, shoot, man. It helped me gain awareness of where my attention was going. Number 3, set a daily focus intention. This was one I'm starting to practice. And this is, for me anyway, this is more difficult than I thought. This is really about, what do you want to accomplish today? What do you want to get done? And picking something. My challenge is like, okay, I want to get this. That's great and everything, but what's the intention? What do I want to get out of today? What do I want to make happen? Who do I want to see or contact? Bringing that kind of energy first, then get into the to-do list, right? So set the daily focus intention. What do you want to get out of the day? And really lock into that. This is very important, because or even looking at, what do you want to give your attention to? That's another way to work with it. So also take breath work or movement to reset. Focus and breath are deeply linked. So returning to your breath resets scattered energy. Moving, like, so I got back into the animal flow practice. So for me, moving helps me get back into my body, get focused, and be present with what's got happening. And this is another part of intention and attention, presence. Number 5, serve one thing deeply each day. What? Choose one task, one person, one project to give your full presence. That's it. One thing. There's a book by the guy that started Keller Williams. I don't remember the guy's name, but One Thing. He talks about that. Like, a lot of times our energy is so scattered. This is one of the reasons why we fail to get things done. So with that in mind, serve one thing deeply each day. It could change, but serve one thing. You notice that all these things are going to require a certain level of presence and focus, right? That's what we talked about. It is your most precious commodity. So what we're going to talk, like, when here's a couple questions as we start to wrap up. Where has your focus been going lately? Okay. And is it building the man you want to become, or breaking that man down? Listen to this. What I'm saying. Where's your focus going lately? Is it building you up or busting your behind, breaking you down? Pay attention. Be honest with yourself. And as we go into our final thought, you are what you attend to. Focus is more than just productivity. It's spiritual discipline, and it's sacred. Sacred. Bless up to you all. Thank you for watching. Back on a regular scheduled time next Sunday. I had some, I'm going to get into that in another video, but bless up to you guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you for supporting. If you think someone can benefit from this video, please share it with the folks. All right. Share it with peoples and let them get the goodies. Appreciate you all. And if you have yet to get the book, get it on Amazon Party.